No one yet, but tonight we're going to be showing off my Prime Day deals plus what I have been reading, I should say. I have quite a bit of packages. Ah. I already pre-opened them because opening packages on lives can be dangerous. So we're gonna go with the first one. So this is book number 1 I picked up. Promised in Fire. It is part of a series. Not heard much about the series, but I like the cover, so I figured why not. Book number 2. I actually have the first one. I have not read either of them. So, well, I haven't read the first one, so either of them, I guess, really wouldn't matter. Not really sure what it's about, but I have the first one, so I had to get the second one. That's just because that's the way I am. So I blame my friend / coworker for this. And we have a wheel spin that we do, book group kind of thing, and she put some Freida McFadden books on there, so now I'm obsessed with Freida McFadden books. So I've read probably like 4 of hers, maybe. Maybe. Another favorite author has been Jennifer Hartman. I know, I saw it comes on my phone. Her books, some of them are like, definitely have trigger warnings, so make sure, you know, if you read any of them. I don't think this one does. I don't think it does. But I did get another one, also, by Jennifer Hartman. This one's an age gap. Should be interesting. I did get a third one by Jennifer Hartman. I didn't realize I got 3. But I love her books, so that's fine. And the best part about her books is they're all the same size. These ones I didn't get from Prime Days, but I got them from Walmart, actually. Christina, hold on. Because for some reason, it wasn't letting me add moderators from my phone. Best part about this, it's already sprayed, so I don't have to do anything to it. And I have the series because I'm, well, me. And I get the last book. Crazy C had to be here for Crazy B. I'm not book crazy, you're book crazy. Hey, her. I know. She probably sent a bunch of you over here. I know I'm connected to your channel too. These next two books actually aren't mine. They're my friend / co-workers. But I told her, because she's going to start reading Throne of Glass series, and I told her that I would get them for her. So I got her the 2 books that you're supposed to tandem read. So I told her I'd buy them for her and tab them for the tandem read, because you read them at the same time. Well, you go back and forth, but they get read at the same time. They take place in 2 different parts of the world at the exact same time. But that's all I got from Amazon, actually. Yeah, he's stuck working, Christina. Oh, I forgot Catch the Sun is actually sprayed too. I think that's why I got this one. Not just because I like the author, but because it had sprayed edges. Because I'm crazy like that. I got a Leaning Tower of Pisa book sitting here. I'm not so sure about that right now. So let's get into the books that I have read recently. So this one was sitting on my shelf for a very long time. Probably at least the last 6 months. And I finally read it. Hi, Specs. Hold on. I've got my tablet sitting next to me because for some reason it won't allow me to do any moderator stuff from my phone. And I'm not sure why. Oh God, now you're all gonna be over here. No, I'm just kidding. Living Dead Jewels books are my favorite. I have read 107. I'm on 108 right now for the year. So I'm a little obsessed with books. Smooth moderator, very. I have not. There's a bunch of books that I have to look up and go through. I have recommendations from another friend of mine. It is crazy. Like, we're working on packing stuff, so I've packed up a lot of my books. And Powerless sounds like my car. It is nothing like your car, Barry. But I probably have, I don't know how many books I have. It's a lot. I'm not a bookworm, I'm a book dragon. We call me a book dragon because, yeah. So Powerless, I was really skeptical on reading this because I heard a lot of people were like, oh, it's fantastic, it's great. And then some people were like, no, I didn't like it. But it took me a minute to get into it. But once I got into it, I loved it. And it ends on a cliffhanger. Well, luckily, book 2's already out. And I read book 2 directly after this. And part of me wishes I would have waited for book 3 to come out before reading. Because this ends on a cliffhanger too. And I wanted to throw it across the room. I have a love-hate relationship with some of these books. DJ will tell you, I probably have wanted to throw not very many, like, I want to say there's been at least a handful. It's not nice to point. So, at the beginning of the live, I said my coworkers, my 2 coworkers and I, who've become really good friends and stuff, we started a like book club. I air quote book club because it's not really, we just read the same book at the same time. However, I'm a faster reader, so I usually get done faster. We have this wheel that I call the magical wheel of doom that we each put books on and we spin it. Yeah, but we don't really talk about the books. we do, but we don't. I'm the type of person who's like, are you to this? How far are you? So I know what I can say and what I can't say. Like, because I hate spoiling books for anybody, especially if I know they're reading it or was going to read it. So our last wheel spin was Twisted Love, which is part of a series. And I read the complete series. Specs. So they can be read as standalones, so you don't have to read them all, but they all interconnect. Characters are the same throughout all the books, but they're set to different people each book. And I love books like this because sometimes I like some of them and sometimes I don't. I had the first 2 books, 5 stars. I loved them. The second 2 books, they got like 4.5 stars. They were good. They were just a little too get to the point. Redundant. They were almost the same thing. Thank you. I love the red lipstick too. It's my favorite. Oh, the butterfly on. So in this book, the main male character plus the main female character, he nicknames her Butterfly. That's why there's a butterfly in the cover. The second book, Twisted Love sounds like pretzels. Now you're just gonna make me hungry, Barry. The second book, I laughed when I told my friends what I thought this book was going to turn out to be. And I said it's going to end up being, I read the back of it and I was like, this book is going to be a like Princess Diaries meets Bodyguard. And that's exactly what it was. Go away, husband. That's exactly... Oh, I'm sure they do make Cliff Notes versions for these. This is like the smutty version of Princess Diaries meets Bodyguard. That's what I'm going to say about that book. No spoilers. But that's, I mean, you could get that. He didn't tell me anybody called in Barry. It depends. I love the cutesy, like, rom-com, but these start off as cutesy rom-com and then kind of go into, like, dark. I was just, like, not expecting that, but expecting it at the same time. This one is one of my favorite, like, suspense thriller authors. They're definitely more like late teens, early 20 books. Meaning there's, like, absolutely no smut in them whatsoever. But you never know how it's going to end. It keeps you guessing the whole entire time. Like, I wanted to throw this book when I finished because it was one of those ones that ended and you're like, that is not how this book ends. That should have not been how this book ends. And that's exactly how this book ended. And I literally texted my coworker after I finished reading it and was like, oh my God, that is not how this book ends. And it is. And then my coworkers and I spun again. Oh, you guys are fine. I'm not ignoring you. I see you, but I just, Specs, I'm just gonna let you guys have your fun, because if you can't have fun in chat, there's no point in being here. Mr. Z. Book endings are very important, and this one I felt ended more on a cliffhanger than, like, it should have been. It depends on the book. Like, this one felt like more of a cliffhanger than an actual book ending. This was another one that we just spun for today, so I just started reading it. And I will put that on my list. Oh my gosh, Joe. Yeah, this book, I already know, like I was telling Iman earlier, I told him I wanted a video of him saying emotional damage, because that's what this book is going to give me. I've heard so many people talk about it, and Rebecca Yarros, I love Fourth Wing and, like, Iron Flame, but her, like, more romancy books, I absolutely adore. They're usually all military based. We read The Last Letter probably a month or two ago, and that one was a tearjerker, and I know this one's going to be. And yes, I do cry while reading some books. But question is, if you like reading books, what type of books? I'm not sure I have Specs. I know of it. I just don't know if I've actually, I don't think I've ever read it. No, some of these books are just, like, So The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros is just so much going on. And there's a lot of sadness in the book, but a lot of good in the book. So it kind of balances itself out. Don't watch the movie. Okay, I won't. Like, I knew this book I was gonna love right off the bat because of the sassy banter between the two main characters. I love when the women give them so much sass. Sheena! What's up, Sheena? You missed my review on. Have you read this series, Sheena? Because if you haven't, that one I just pointed out. It's a real book about cooking. Now I could get behind that book. I like cooking, but I like cooking my own way, so I don't know if I could read about a book cooking. Like, they telling you how to cook? Because if so, I don't know about that. Another, if you love thriller, suspense, Miss Freida McFadden. Is another. Oh my gosh. Wait, did that just happen book? Ooh. My favorite read ever. Okay, so I'm going to say one nonfiction and one fiction because I've read one nonfiction book this year. I actually just packed it, but it's called Unforgettable Moments or something like that. It's the In Between. It's In Between is the title of it. And it's a nonfiction. It's written by a hospice nurse. And I think it's basically her encounters with her patients before they pass. And it is a really good book. I actually listened to it on audio while working, which probably wasn't the best idea. And it was a very emotional read. Or listen, I should say, I guess. But I also have the physical copy of the book because gotta have shelf trophies. But a lot of it like hit home on some of it because a lot of the patients, obviously in hospice, are going to be cancer patients. And with my mom having cancer, it just kind of hit home a little bit. Now, fiction, we're going to go back, hold on, to the Throne of Glass series. Because, not this book specifically, but I just bought these two for my coworker. I told her I'd buy them because she's going to start reading the series. And I told her I would tab them because they're a tandem read. You're supposed to read them together. But this whole series is my favorite, I would have to say. I've read probably one or two Dean Koontz, but I'm not I have to say I like my female authors. I used to read James Patterson. Actually. And I haven't read really any What movie did you see? Oh, Joe. There are so many like that. I don't think there is a specific one, to be honest. I can tell you I adored the first 2 Harry Potter books and the movies because they were so close together. But after the second one, no. Colleen Hoover has a book that actually that just got made into a movie, and Blake Lively is the main female character. And I actually haven't fully read the book. So I'm going to try to stay away from it. And read the book first. Because sometimes I feel like reading the book and then watching the movie, or vice versa, like watching the movie and then reading the book sometimes is a huge disappointment. But yes, Blake Lively is amazing, and I think it'll end up being a phenomenal movie. Because they actually brought the writer in on the movie. So it wasn't just a, hey, we're gonna with this, my Alien Galathania shirt. So I love when they produce movies and they bring the author in to help with the script, because I feel like that just makes it so much more like the book. I totally prefer fiction over nonfiction. I will read nonfiction if it's recommended, highly recommended. So, like, I read through Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses series. Audible has dramatized versions of A Court of Thorns and Roses, the 5 books. I have listened to all of it. Exactly, Sheena. I don't read to get smart. I read to escape. That couldn't have said it better. That's why I think that's why I've read so much. I listen to audio a lot of times when I'm working, because that's the only time I feel like I can't listen to it any other time. I get too distracted. Like, I can't do headphones, and I don't mind, like, if James isn't home, but if he's home, it's just annoying because then I'm trying to listen to it over what he's doing, and it just gets in the way. So I normally do it on Saturdays when I work, because I'm the only one that's working. But I've listened to the dramatized versions. I've now listened to Throne of Glass on audio. I listened to In Between. It depends on the book, Sheena. If I've already read it, I speed it up quite a bit. If I haven't read it, I stay around the 2 mark, so I can actually grasp what's being said while I'm working, if that makes sense. I know it was supposed to come out this summer for the first book, for Throne of Glass. And they pushed it back until 2025. I think February. And I was super mad. And I was super mad about it. Christina's part of our amazing friend group. So it was definitely, they actually have Crescent City now for dramatized. And I have that downloaded too. Right? I'm dreading actually doing the audio because I don't know if I'm going to do the tandem read in the audiobook. I might. It's going to be super hard though. Joe. Do you want to know what lipstick it is? Because I'll show you. It's right here. Actually, was he the one? Have you listened or read Shallow River? I want to say he was one of the ones, the guy for Shallow River. Yeah, Specs dramatized book is where it like is full immersive. It's a graphic audio book basically. So it's like it's like a movie without the picture. Basically, I don't mean this in a mean way, but like if you were blind, that's what an audiobook would be like for you. Like what a movie would be like. There's background music, there's everything. It's an immersive way to listen to books. So I really want to listen to Haunting Adeline on audio. We've read the physical books, so I'm like, do I? I did listen to Shallow River, which is also an H.D. Carlton book. But I think I've read all of her books except Where's Molly Now? Sheena. You guys are so funny. But there's a lot of audiobooks I want to listen to. I actually have this one on audio. We just started reading this one today. Joe, you're pretty too though, so, and don't say you're not. Sheena, since you're here, have you read this yet? This series yet? I think it's a trilogy. Are you? What time are you doing a live? Or are you just doing like a premiere or just a video? I haven't. The stupid thing is I packed the first book. Oh, it's pre-recorded? Okay. I literally packed the first book. I'm so stupid for it. Because now I'm like, I want to read it. Maybe I'll audiobook the first one. I have a credit. I'll audiobook the first one. If it is on audiobook, I should say. If it's on audiobook, I will totally do that instead of trying to figure out which box it may be in, because that's a lot of boxes. Oh, the second one? This one? Yeah. Are they... Do you have to read them in order, or are they more like standalone, Sheena? Because I don't know. I literally... It was a book talk read. A book talk. Book talk, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I have to read them in order? Fine. I guess I know what audiobook I'm doing on Saturday. I have a feeling it's going to take more than 8 hours, though. But that's fine. Mr. Donnie has the cutest kitties. He has kitty videos, and they're so adorable. I just got sidetracked on kitty videos. Sheena. I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be jealous over that? Question is, Sheena, have you read Powerless and Reckless? Did you say you're a whole fool? You're hilarious. You're not a whole fool. A whole fool. I can't speak. It's not very smutty, so, but you've read Throne of Glass, so it's kind of along those lines. I really liked it, but that's me. It took me a hot minute to get into Powerless, but once it got past like the world building part of it, you know, it got better. I can read non-smutty stuff. And then Reckless was just like, I flew through Reckless. Powerless took, I normally, like, I read 2 books yesterday. I finished, well, I wasn't more than a third of the way through this when I finished it. I finished this book yesterday, and then I read a Kindle book yesterday that I fly through books. It's insane. I'm actually excited about this series. So I actually get Bane on Tuesday, which I think is the 4th book. But look at how pretty. I love colored edges. Right? The colors are gorgeous. This is another one that I picked up that I've seen a few times, but never picked up. And then, since you guys weren't here at the beginning, Jennifer Hartman is another one of my favorites. And this one actually has sprayed edges too. Sheena, you might like this one. It's an age gap. Best friend's dad. Need I say more? And then this is the other one I got. All Jennifer Hartman books. Are you talking about this one? Say Less. Like, I feel like that was definitely a Say Less book. I would show you sprayed edges, but I actually just packed all my sprayed edges that I've done myself. The only one I had left that wasn't packed was one that I actually just shipped out to my friend's daughter, because she sent me, I know Sheena's seen them, the original Throne of Glass and A Court of Thorns and Roses books, which were amazing. So that's all I had to show you guys. And there's so many more books. Mr. Z. Team Nesta. You know, after reading Crescent City, I have learned to love Nesta. I did not hate her, but she wasn't my favorite at the beginning. But after, like, after reading Crescent City, I love her. And, like, I'm trying not to say too much, because spoilers for anybody that hasn't read it or wants to. Right? Like, I mean, just her glow up in Silver Flames. Hey, as long as you don't call me late for dinner or a bad word, I'm cool. I did love her in Silver Flames. So, but I feel like her peak turnaround for me was the Crescent City issue thing. Specs. I'm not sure my husband would approve of that, Mr. Z. I'm just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. I don't think he would. The library card needed. It's a good thing I don't go to the library for books. I'd probably never return them. I was always bad at it. I do not. When I get tired, I stop reading. But if the book's really good, I literally will just stay up and finish it. Like the Crescent City, actually, yes, Crescent City, Throne of Glass. I would die if I messed up my book. Like, I got the set of Throne of Glass from the ones that I actually will spray the edges of after we move, from Target, and some of them were messed up and I just wanted to cry. I'm like, why? That's the worst, Sheena. That is the worst. What type of food do I like to cook? Ew. Recently, Mac and cheese has been my favorite. And Christina, I know. We'll just... fast food. I mean, fast food is delicious. Depends on what you get, though. We just had Wendy's today. Because I literally text James and was like, what's for lunch? And he comes in because I was still working. And he goes, what do you want? He's like, what do you mean, what's for lunch? I'm like, I just asked a question. Like, are you going to make me something for lunch? Or... He's like, I'm assuming you want Wendy's? You know me so well. I've been to rallies, but never heard of Zips. I've definitely heard of rallies. In-N-Out. The In-N-Out lines are horrible, though. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is really good. I love their breakfast chicken sandwiches on a biscuit. Yum. You've never seen a Chick-fil-A in real life? Well, I could see why. I don't know. I don't think they have that many out in California. Or any, now that I think about it. How would we go from books to food? I mean... And you cook them beautifully, Joe. You cook them beautifully. Joe. I mean, food is good no matter. Chef Boyardee. Oh my God, Barry. You are a good pancake chef. My dad used to make pancakes all the time. It was like an almost every Sunday thing. You know what you need to get yourself, Specs? Is instead of using a frying pan, get a griddle, like a countertop griddle. I think I had a pan that you put on the stove that actually were cat heads, because my sister's oldest loves cats. All her kids love cats, but her oldest especially loves cats. And we made little cat pancakes. Oh gosh, Barry, who's there? I'm afraid to even say it. Griddle who? I'm afraid to say it. Oh my gosh, Barry. Oh boy. I can't. You and your dang knock knock jokes. I'm trying to think what other books that I've read recently that were really good. The last couple of months have been slower for me. There was one month I think I read 25 books. Some of them were small books, not like ginormous. They were like small Kindle books, but they were really cute books, little rom-com books. But I think this book's 108. I have not read Hatchet. I have so many books on my TBR. And it keeps growing because other people recommend, other people, I see them on TikTok. The other series that was my favorite when I was probably late teens, early 20s, was House of Night by PC and Kristen Cast. I actually just picked up the comic book version of it recently. Well, my husband got it for me, but same difference. Sheena, I'm a total mood reader. Yeah, it was my favorite series. I actually started buying the books again because I thought I kept all my books that I had from that series, and I guess I didn't, or they got put in a box that got sent to Goodwill or something. And I just recently started rebuying them. I think I have maybe 4 books left of the 12 of the original series, not the older series. Well, technically newer series, but of them older. But I'm a complete mood reader. And I will sit there and stare at the bookshelf and not know what to read. Yeah, I read part of, I think it was the first of the newer stuff, and I honestly think I set it down. I'm pretty sure I DNF'd it. I have not wrote a book. It would be something I would probably love to do, but would never do. I mean, technically in elementary school we wrote books for a project, but that was like 4th or 5th grade. I mean, that kind of would be a great idea. Like, there's been times, like, I literally created a decide wheel for oh yeah, I have this one. I actually got off of TikTok. The other 2, wasn't it the La Habra one, the Crescent City one you liked? I think they're actually out here. Hold on. I think we washed them. This one is my La Habra one. Actually, you can never see this at the bottom. Question was, were you Team Caves? And then the sleeve has stuff on it too. I love my bleach shirts. I actually buy the bleach shirts like this. I have another one. I'm not sure what it is right now, but it has a whole bunch of different quotes from the 3 Sarah J. Maas universes. My hair color of this back here, it's like a bluish purple right now. It was full on blue at one point, and now it's just kind of purple. I'm trying to get it back to a semi-normal color again. But yes, Sheena probably hit me up after we move though, because I'm not gonna have time to do much of anything over the next 2 to 3 weeks, other than packing and packing and some more packing. Lots of packing in my future. Granted, I have packed up most of my books, except for these 2 stacks sitting on either side of me. We're going, well, I'm technically going back to Ohio. We're both going, but I'm from Ohio, so not Iowa, Ohio. Yeah, we're going back. I was born and raised. The husband has only lived like West Coast his whole entire life. So I wanted to make sure we got back just in time for fall into winter, because I am evil. And he's gonna freeze like a little baby. I am so over this heat, Joe. It's not even funny. We don't even live in the same state. I can't take you with me. It's actually really windy outside. I'm surprised I haven't gotten like a dust storm alert again. That's like so far out of the way, Mr. Z. Not even close to how we drive. And we're driving there with 4 animals. That's going to be the hard part. It is so bad here. Like, I do not go outside during the summer here. I thrive in the cold. Thrive in the cold. That is just always have. I don't ask why I live in the worst state for it right now. During the winters here, it does drop at night very significantly, but I don't turn on the heat unless it drops too cold, because then the animals, and I'm like, then I feel bad because the animals will get cold. And I can't have the windows open at any point in time because I don't know what causes the dog's seizures. I don't know if it's stressing out over sounds or anything, so. I just started doing the channel with the dogs, so, which Specs knows. She was my special guest. I'm 2 dogs and 2 cats. Well, right now we'll see. I take the oldest dog back to the vets tomorrow. And see if she's gained or lost. So, packing's not the, packing is a problem, but packing's not a problem right now. It's more or less what can we pack now versus what needs to still stay out. Our older dog, she's 10, and we know she was losing some weight before we went to Ohio in June, but I didn't think much of it because the heat and everything else. And then we boarded them, but she had lost about like 10 pounds in like a month. So we got a little concerned. And so we started feeding her. When we came back, the vet's like, there's nothing on her x-rays, so there were no, no masses that they could see that would be of concern. Her spleen looked fine. What they could see of her liver looked fine. But we opted out of the blood panel until I was like, let me see if I could get some weight on her, because stuff ain't cheap. But I would do it if I knew it was gonna help her. But if we go back in tomorrow and she's not gained any weight or has lost the weight that she did gain, which was only like 2 pounds, less than 2 pounds in like 2 weeks, because it'll be 4 weeks tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're gonna do. She's already 10. She's half giant breed, so she's lived a long life, and a healthy one. She's a crazy dog. It's not. She was a family dog. We took her when we moved into our house, because then we got our Great Dane too, and so our Great Danes lived the last 2 years with her. I think it's gonna be harder on her, but yeah, it is not. We when we moved to California, we had a family dog that we had gotten, and she just out of nowhere around 8 years old stopped eating, lost so much weight, and they do, Mr. Z, it's not, we're not, the older dog is actually half lab, quarter Great Dane, quarter Mastiff. The dad was a Great Dane Mastiff mix, and the mom was a lab. So she's got the chest and waist like a Great Dane, but she's the size of a lab. So for her, you can see her ribs. Like, they have a body condition scale that's, I think, like a 1 through 9 scale. And when I took her in, they gave her a 3. So losing fur babies is never easy. She's a great dog. She always has been. She's never... The only issue I have is I can't feed the dogs the same food. That's the only issue I have. Because one's got a sensitive stomach, the other one's got allergies. I'm like, could y'all just not have issues? My cats are, well, even my cat has to have special food. The older cat has to have special food too. And the younger cat's the only one that doesn't have to have any special food as of yet. She might need to get some hairball food. Yeah. She's been really good since we've had her. She used to throw up her food, like basically regurgitate her food. Amaris has definitely grown into her slobber stages. It definitely is, Sheena. Have you ever watched the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven? Joe. I'm sure that felt great. How did we get so far away from books on this? It's okay. He's a... I mean, I'm sure it felt amazing, Joe. So, amazingly. It's always like that on any of my lives. Specs live earlier was squirrel moment. Her chat, she went squirrel, and her chat just went feral over no, I don't know why. I don't know how. It just got way out of hand, and I was like, wait, what? We left having you, Sheena. It went left real quick. I was looking at the comments, I'm like, I don't even know where to chime in here because it went so left so quick. I even think my pet channel one went left so quick. I was watching you guys, your last one, I think. And we all and it goes to show, like, once the chat goes off topic, you kind of go off topic because you're trying to read the chat and catch up with the chat. And if you were annoying, you would have been blocked. Trust me. Just keep it going. If I thought if you were bothering me or thought you were making anybody else uncomfortable or making me uncomfortable, you wouldn't be here. I'm very tolerant of what goes on in the comments. If I skip over your comments, it's not because I'm not paying attention to them. It's just, I see them. Some of them are meant for me to read and not read out loud. There's some comments I just, like Mr. Z, love you, but some of your comments I will not read out loud. It's all Christina Payne. Where is she with her hashtag spread the love? We were talking about butterflies earlier. I have a butterfly tattoo. You can't really see it though. I know, Christina and her hashtag spread the love. We love Christina. They can't really see it. I've got one on this hand too. If I can reach my arm that way. I've got one on each arm. Funny thing is they're both for my mom. My mom has stage 4 kidney cancer. So it's for kidney cancer. And she is obsessed with monarch butterflies. So, and it's really hard to see. Let me see if it'll focus on it. I have mom in there. And it's actually her handwriting. You're telling me, Sheena? Because that's my problem. Yeah, that's why we went to Ohio in June. She had a, this is my mom, okay? She had a celebration of life party for herself. We did call it, I did call it Mom's Kick-Ass Party. They had it catered, they had a DJ, she had this big front yard sign. Unfortunately, it's already spread to bones and her brain, so it's kind of just I think they gave her 2 years, not this past March, but the March before. The problem is, with hers, like she was doing fine. They just switched up her meds though, and this last time she had 8 lesions on her brain, so which is more than she's ever had. It does, Sheena. My mom has always lived her life though. She's never been one to not do what she wants. She just wanted to be there to be able to celebrate with everybody. So, which it was hot out that day, but it was fun. I mean, she had fun. Her and my dad renewed their vows that day. They've been together. Now I've got to do math, and I'm not so great at math. She really can't wait until I move out there. But I mean, my sister lives with her now with her kids, but they just got their own place, so we're actually moving in with them. And her and my dad have been married, I'm trying to think, 43 years this year. I think 43 years this year. No. 42. It'll be 42 this year. Yeah, they're a little crazy. My dad just basically gives my mom what she wants. Always has, always will. They did. The funny thing about that is, so I grew up in Ohio, so they actually met because my mom lived a few doors down, but like across the street from where my dad's sister lived. And that's how they met. Oh no, you're fine. I'm reading it. I feel like it's for my eyes only though. Kind of vibe. So that's how they end up meeting. They actually met at walking up to, it's called Community Days, and it's like this big, huge thing for the town that we lived in, because we actually lived in the same, literally across the street from my aunt and 3 doors down from where my mom grew up for about 8 years. But they did this big, huge Community Days thing. It was a carnival and a parade, and they met on the way to the parade. My dad was in the Navy. They went back and forth for a while. So they've been married since 82. My oldest nephew is autistic, so it doesn't. You're completely fine. I'm reading your comments. I kind of get off on a tangent on certain things, so is his. Yeah, that's why it was so hard to read in between. Because, the hospice aspect of it, I now have to look up the full title because now I don't remember. Unforgettable encounters during life's final moments. That's what it also says on the cover. Like, I was trying to remember what it was, and I couldn't remember what it was, but that's what it was. I have my tablet sitting next to me, because I can see, it's easier to see the comments. And it was easier for me to moderate people. It was just easier. Oh, trust me, we do. Ever since we did Christmas, after we found out, actually right before Christmas, she actually had brain surgery to remove a lesion on her brain. And then we had family out, like Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving was, my brother and sister-in-law lived in California with their kids at the time, And so they came out. We're in Arizona, so they drove out for Thanksgiving, and then because we found out before Thanksgiving, and then all of this happened, and my brother and sister-in-law went and asked their older daughters, like, do you want to, because it wasn't supposed to be their Christmas at our house, and they were like, do you want to come back to grandma's for Christmas? And so they all came. We had 26 people in the house on Christmas Eve. I think they were all out. I think it was Christmas Eve or the weekend before Christmas. But we had like 26 people in the house. You had myself, my husband, my sister, her now husband, their 3 kids at the time. Then you had my other brother and sister-in-law, then my other brother and sister-in-law with their 4 kids. And then my mom's 2 sisters and their husbands, plus 2 cousins. There were so many people in that house. So many people. We have this like big, huge group picture. My mom was like, oh, we took a picture when my brother was in the Navy. I want to say maybe after I graduated high school. We took a family picture, and my mom wanted to recreate it, so we did. So I bought this big, huge backdrop to go in the house for pictures. We did a lot of stuff. We've done a lot of stuff since then. I was over there, even after we moved out, I was over there probably every other day. It really does. But my mom has made it like this big, huge thing. She loves it. I couldn't be 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I love my mom. I think sometimes talking about it helps. But she's right, Mr. Z. She is right. Like, sometimes it takes people on their deathbed for other people to realize what they missed out on. And she's not saying it's her, she's just saying people in general. Which it is. Like, I mean, an uncle that I have never met passed away at the beginning of the year. It's my dad's brother. I've never met him. But I ended up being in Ohio at the time. And because I drove back with my brother when he was moving back out there. And my mom calls me. She's like, bring something nice to wear. You have a funeral to go to. And I'm like, what funeral? And she told me, and then I was like, you're having me go to a funeral for someone I've never met. And it was not about him, it was about my dad. Being there for my dad. Because like I said, I've never met this uncle. Never talked to him. My mom's like, oh, you met him. I was like, when? She's like, when you were a baby. I don't remember. Like, I was a baby. You expect me to remember? It really is, Sheena. The day to day, you get wrapped up in your own lives, and time gets away from you. I 100% agree. It's easy to say you're gonna do it, and then it never does, because life happens. I mean, it's just, I can only speak to my experience, can't speak to anybody else's. So sometimes broken people cannot be fixed by helping other people. Sometimes the broken people give too much to fix others. Me too, Sheena. It's really hard. Since my parents moved back to Ohio, like, we keep in touch. It's what phones are for. FaceTime. We love you, Mr. Z. And are those hugs, Joe? I can't really tell. Like, I'm like looking. I think they're hugs. It's so true. I've met so many great people just being on YouTube. It's funny because Christina was just telling me the other day, she's like, you went from someone not wanting to be like even anybody to see you walk by the camera when my husband would be on lives, to doing your own and having, I do have 4 channels. Call me crazy, Sheena, you will, but so she's like, you went from nothing to doing this all on your own. Exactly, Sheena. Hey, Boggs. Hold on, let me. Will. It's just super crazy how I am a totally introverted person. You wouldn't know it doing these lives. But I hate going out. I hate it. That's another reason why I've read so many books. Yeah, I mean, have a good night at work, Boggs. Get off at, I think you said 10 or 10:30. It was the same way. Like, I'd make James turn off his camera because he was out in the living room when he started doing lives with like Paul and the Amazing Friends and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, turn off the camera when I walk by, because it was right in the hallway to go to the bedroom, like when I go to bed at night. And I'd be like, okay, turn off the camera. And then he had backstage things. I'd make him even turn off the camera even if he was just backstage. And then Christina would be backstage. So it'd make it a little bit easier because at least there was another female. And now I'm in this world with all the amazing friends where it's literally, besides Batmite, I feel like I'm the only female. Because I'm the only female usually on the panel except for Tuesday nights. We love you, Will. Even if you are annoying sometimes, we still love you. And Joe just calls you daddy, so it's fine. I'm waiting for her to say something about it. They really are, Sheena. Like, I love them all. Like, they are amazing people. I know. It took James. It took my husband being a little overbearing and smacking me around. And being like, hey, these are cool people. Go talk to them. But when you find people who like the same things as you, it's easy to click in. Bloop bloopy words, Joe. There isn't a lot of women. That's why I did ladies' night, because I wanted it to showcase the women who, you know, are always behind the scenes. Are you talking about my husband? He does. I love him to death. He means well. Sometimes I want to injure, but the funny thing is we actually met on a dating app online. We have been together for 12 years. 12 and a half years, actually. Right now I'm in Arizona. No, right now I'm in Arizona. Sometimes, you know, there are times that the man drives me insane. Would I change him for the world? Absolutely not. Is he frustrating as all get out? Absolutely. But he is Sheena. Eyeball. But he is so supportive of everything. Like, if you're on Facebook or in any groups or like anything, he literally, we're in a couple groups. Like, I'm in the groups too, but I'm not one to push my products on people, like the things that I make. Like, I suggest it. Exactly, Sheena. Exactly. Like, I'm like, hey, you know, I do make this, this, and this, but I don't sit there and do it over and over and over again. He's in these groups redoing these like once a month posts. Like, he talks to people, like he messages people. It'll be like, oh, this person wants to know if you could do this. And I go in, I'm like, okay, this is what I have, this is what I can do. And he sends it to him. Like, I do all the business stuff and he does all of the other, like, he does the selling part. Like, I'm so introverted, even when we're at events, he does a lot of the talking. he, like I said, he supports me in whatever I want to do. I've gone through so many different crafting adventures. I'm the Amazing Friends little brother, even though I'm older than Beck and Pizza. But see, you're younger than me. You're the same age as my sister, so therefore you're like little brother. But he's been through there. He's been with me through a lot of my different hobbies, I guess you can say. The most expensive one lately is my book hobby. The best part about making things for other people is seeing their reactions to it. Or like, I'll make it and I'll be sitting there, I'll be looking at them, I'm like, damn, this came out amazing. I say you're annoying beyond your years, but still. No, his brother is not Pizza. Two of the people who have been on Paul's live, Paul and the 619 and his Amazing Friends live, is Beck Neptune and Pizza Rat Reads, I think now. So, but I love crafting. It's something I love to do. Did I ever think that I would actually make tons of money off of it? Absolutely not. My husband's a huge supporter. My mother has always been a huge supporter of anything that I've done. So, like, she's the only person that I will allow not to pay. Like, she will not. Okay, Sheena. She will not pay me. Like, she is one of those people who are like, tell me how much it is. I give her the motherly discount because she's my mother. But she pays for what she orders because she supports what I do. My husband will just be like, hey, can you make this for so-and-so's birthday? Which I still have to do because he doesn't pay me, so it gets put on the back burner. Again, Will. Heartsy, heartsy, hearts. It's all hearts. So, being together for 12 years and still being together, and I haven't buried a body yet, speaks volumes. Just saying. Just saying. Specs, you were talking about, hey, Wellbore. I am live. One of my channels is live. One of my channels is live. Just one, not multiple. Although everybody says that they're my 10 different personalities. We do make a great team when it comes to certain things. Oh no, it's lunchtime. Go away, husband. It's our new thing. Okay, so he can never interrupt me while I'm not paying attention to him. Because he was talking to me the other day. I don't remember what he was talking about. I was probably watching something on my phone. and he was talking, and then he goes, "I love you," and I literally deadpanned and said nothing. Literally, the word nothing came out of my mouth. I don't know why. I wasn't paying attention. You cannot. He knows better. He interrupts me while I'm reading. He gets the death glare. He literally gets the death glare. You can't interrupt me while I'm reading. He knows better. He absolutely knows better. Okay, bye again, Vogged. He just met me. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be alive. It's been almost 2 hours already. I was only expecting to go live for an hour, and we kind of derailed from books quite a bit. But if I'm not still here, I'll see ya. I'm sure on someone else's live, because you're around. But it got a little crazy there for a minute. I think we covered a lot of topics. By a lot of topics, I mean a lot of topics. My energy is safe. I have an energy. Oh, it derailed there for a minute into Crazy Town. And then went into deep emotional town for a little bit. Sheena's back. It went from books to Crazy Town to emotional town. Was it Wellbore or Vogg's for what? Wellbore just got here. And Vogg's has been in and out maybe the last 10 minutes? 10, 15 minutes? I'm the sister nobody wanted to know. Just kidding. My siblings may act like they don't have. Like they didn't want me, but it's not true. They'll tell me that I was adopted. My mom will say otherwise. And I won't tell you what she says when she says otherwise. I'll let your imagination fly. Voggs is slacking at work. At least he's not trying to get in alive. At least he's not trying to get in alive. Bye, Jules. I'm not even sure. You got to know a lot of... I'm not sure if it really... You got to know about my book tastes and about some of my personal life and my craziness. And apparently my 10 different personalities that everybody says I have. Well, actually my husband says I have 10 different personalities. It kind of felt like, it wasn't confessions, but I feel like for a first episode, sometimes like going into the topics that we kind of did were a little heavy because it got personal. But not just for me, kind of for everybody. So it kind of worked out. Ooh, severe thunderstorm warning. Yay, rain. And the sun's out, so. Number 9 is the one that wants to bury you. Sheena, I feel like you're gonna need a blow-up costume and a shovel. I'm just saying. Just saying. It needs to rain here, Wellbore. It needs to rain. It rained for like 5 minutes during the monsoon storm the other day. Did you just say vacation in the dirt? Oh my gosh. It actually looking like it was dusty out there. It's been really windy. I did do a live during the Haboob and monsoon storm the other day. I think it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday. I loved having you here, Sheena. She's one of my new book besties. That's what Specs is dealing with. She's got the fire by her too. Like, I mean, right by her. She walks out her door and you could just see the plume of smoke. That's one thing I don't miss about living in California, were the fires. I can't tell if that's cars passing by or if that's like thunder. But I remember I don't know what year it was, but there was one year where there were a ton of fires in Southern California. And one of them, like, I worked at a grocery store at the time, and I was just like a bag person, and we would go out and get carts. We had to wear, we had to go to the pharmacy because they wore like masks and stuff when they were given shots. We had to get N95 masks to wear outside to get carts, and we were only allowed out there 15 minutes at a time. Because Joe, because literally there was ash falling. Yeah, I want to say it was 2008, maybe 2009. It was somewhere in there. And there was literally ash. It looked like it was snowing in the parking lot. Like, those ones were the scary ones. It was kind of like what Joe's is. It's like, it was that close. You could see the fire cresting over the ridge line, on the mountains. That is thunder. I like thunder. I like thunderstorms. That's why I can't wait to go back to Ohio. My sister sent me a video of it raining yesterday or the day before. And she's like, it's already over. You are not scared. You are not a scaredy cat. I didn't marry no scaredy cat. I love thunderstorms. Ugh, thunderstorms are the best. I told you it went left at some point, okay? It really went left at some point. Most of the text is in the comments, though, because I wasn't really talking about a lot of things at that point. Well, context, at one point, depending on where you're at in comments, we were talking about Mom. So, just saying. And we're going back to this book because I'm not ready for the emotional damage this may cause. I'm not ready for it. But I will tell you, if you love a good banter. Sheena, you're preaching to the choir. What's rain? Sounds nice. Yeah. Literally. You see, I'm not sure if that's thunder or if that's jets, but I'm pretty sure it's thunder. Because we're in a flyover zone for the Air Force Base. But it's not loud enough to be the jets, so I'm pretty sure it's thunder. I know, I told Iman earlier that I needed him to send me a clip, and he said his cousin did it, and I'm like, but I need it, because I can't find it on Trev's Live now. Because there are few books that emotionally wreck you. And this one, I have a feeling Rebecca Yarros is really good at emotionally damaging you. Mr. Z's back. I see the sun just disappearing. I can see out her back window. Well, bored. Oh, I wish that were the case. We get the thunder, lightning. But sometimes where we live, there's not a whole lot out here. So the thunder literally goes forever. So, like, it could be miles and miles and miles and miles away, and you'd still hear the thunder. There was one night, it was over the mountains, just on that side of us, and I actually put a video on my nature channel, and it was thundering, but you could see the lightning in the clouds. My cousin's husband actually, I don't know if he does it anymore. He used to do storm chasing for monsoon season. See, there's my supporting husband again. Why is it all dark? Why is it all dark here? The sun's still out, technically, but it's behind clouds now. I should walk outside. I will now have to look that up. Hold on. This is gonna glitch for a second. Because I just screenshotted it so I could keep that in mind. So what I do with my when I'm just randomly scrolling TikTok and just, yeah. I will randomly scroll. Oh, that sounds like a good book. Screenshot. It actually did get pretty dark here. I'm like looking out the... We're gonna go on a trip in our favorite rocket ship. Zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins, hold on. Because I'm gonna walk outside. Because I want to know what all the noise is. Because I can hear it. Pray tell, husband, why is there a towel on the back porch? Or were you using that? Ooh, it is thunder. Ooh. Hold on. We'll turn it around for a second. She pretty. Ugh, smells like pee out here. Thunder's actually coming from that away. That's crazy, Joe. I'm not sure how well my internet will be out here. We're gonna just here, look behind me. There's nothing in front, it's all behind and over there. But it is thundering, I can hear it. It's not very loud. Because I can. Ooh. Get closer, Thunder. You know, that's funny because I have not come across snakes. Where's some wood? Knocking on some wood here. Since I lived in Arizona, actually. I have seen scorpions. Hold on. Whee. So, funny story on the scorpions. When I worked, so I work from home. So, but before that, I worked in a store, and I was a store manager. And so we were going in, myself and my operations manager went in that morning, and we went in the office, both of us went in the office, and we flip on the lights, and all of a sudden this scorpion runs out. I was out of that office so fast. I shut the door and left her in there. It was so bad. I have seen tarantulas in the store. We had tarantula in the store. But we've not had snakes anywhere. Granted, I'm sure they're around here. But I haven't seen any. I know the store that I was in, they're like, oh yeah, we've seen snakes in here. I haven't seen a snake. I never saw a snake while I was there. The real threat is the javelinas. I almost ran into javelinas on my way home one night because there was this dark patch of road and the javelinas were running across and my lights hadn't caught them yet. Yeah, they are really plentiful. So it got a little crazy. The thunder's getting closer, I can hear it. I really can't wait till we're back in Ohio and I can sit outside and read and just hear nature and not construction work. I won't hear the jets anymore either. The jets were kind of fun though to watch. Ooh, I wonder if they still do the air show in Cleveland. See, now I'm off on a different tangent again. Off on a different tangent. You haven't seen anything like it either, Sheena? Yeah. I don't. We have coyotes. It is tangents with me. That was Specs earlier. She was all over the place. I was saying something earlier when we were talking about it, and we're like, she had a squirrel moment with the fire, and her her chat got feral real quick. Welcome back, Jules. It went feral real quick. So we definitely got her on tangents a lot. But living in the desert, you know, people are like, oh, I have tons of scorpions, and then I'm sitting here like, don't you have a bug person for that? Like, pest control person? You've seen coyotes? Yeah, I mean, coyotes are all over the place. Javelinas, like this, I haven't seen, the only time I've seen javelinas is out in like a small town. Like it's on our way, like if we were to drive to Vegas, it's like on your way out that way. Chupacabras. But apparently there were some javelinas in the housing development we lived in when we lived with my parents. And I was like, no thanks. Those things are dangerous and mean. They are mean. And I won't. Bye, Mr. Z. Yeah, we're probably going to head off here since I've been on for 2 hours now. Longer than I thought I was going to be on for. Because I literally was just going to get on, show off my books, and be done for the night. And then we kind of just all got talking crazy. And that's what happens when the chat goes haywire and we start talking about a whole bunch of different things. Got super windy for a second. What is the dog doing? Because I gotta go let the dogs out. Ooh. That wind just kicked up really bad. It shook the whole house. So that's why I stopped for a second. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get going because I'm gonna have to go let these dogs out before a storm rolls in and it gets too bad. Thank you for coming, Sheena. All right, guys, I'm gonna head out. Thank you all for coming and being supportive and talking and being crazy with me, because that's what my channel is. Crazy Lady B. So again, thank you. See y'all later.